What's going on, guys? Well, it's December 12th in a nice, beautiful day in southern Illinois. So, why not make a video? Video about that will be coming soon. But today's focus is here. My 1995 GMC Vandura 2500. Had this for a couple years now. I bought it with 163,000 miles on it, and now we currently sit at 191, it looks like, but runs and drives beautiful. Do have a little bit of rust popping up there, so that'll be getting fixed sooner rather than later. A little bit more right there. And the biggest reason for it is this thing doesn't get driven much, because if you've ever owned one of these before, gas mileage is never one of these things' strong suits. This thing gets about 12 or 13 miles to the gallon, so it drinks the fuel, that's for sure. $350 throttle body injection. Let's do a cold start on it, because it's been, I think the last time I drove this was Tuesday night, so it's been sitting for about 4 or 5 days. That's a cold start, boys. GM power. Only let me down one time. LED running lights that also dim when the headlights come on. And that's sort of kind of what this video is about, is the LEDs in it. Let's shut her down. Green interior. Green LED lights for the interior that look really good when it's dark out. Also have red there, amber back there, and just the originals back there for now, but I'm not sure what color to put back there. But the main purpose of this video is about the LED lights in the dash cluster. How to get them out, how to know what to look for, and how to replace them if they burn out. It's not a hard job to do. You have to get this dash piece off, and in order to do that, you got 1, 2, 3 screws up top, 1, 2 screws there, one screw there, and this whole thing comes off. Once you've done that, you have this cover off. There's going to be two 10mm bolts, one here, one here, and I think there may be two more up here, but maybe not. And then this whole piece is going to pop off. So I'm going to get this broken down and show the rest of the job. And no bolts up there. Those are the holes for the screws that come out that are holding up the dash assembly. That cover. And now that bolts out there, bolts out there, this whole assembly just comes right out. One thing to keep in mind, you do have a connector back here, so don't just go tugging and jerking. When you take that off, or how you take it off, there's a tab there you got to push in, tab there you got to push in at the same time. Boom, pull it out. Another thing too, if you ever have to replace the brake light switch on this, it is way down in there, and you have to drop the steering column in order to get to it. That's fun. I had to do this back when I very first got it. But once you remove that clip out of the back of the cluster, here's the back of it. And the bulbs that we need to focus on are the bigger ones. Here, 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 and here. Now, these bigger ones, all are 194 bulbs. Then you've got smaller ones here, 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 and along this bottom panel here. These are all your indicator lights, seat belt, high beam, things like that. These are a number 74 bulb. I'll put a part number of the description for those down, and I'll put a part number for those in the description. Do the same with these. Then there's something special about older GM vehicles that people don't know until you tear into one of these and start doing it. One, when you pull this out, you want to make sure that you're kind of delicate pulling it out, because there's not much there as far as the copper tracing that is absolutely necessary to have your gauge cluster work at all. Everything's electronic here. You gotta have this, so don't go pulling and tugging, and don't try to just jam it back in there when you put it back. It's only gonna fit one way, and if you do it wrong, don't force it. But take one bulb out, just a twisting motion, pulls it right out. And these already have LED bulbs in them, but I'm actually gonna swap these out because some of these have begun to flicker. On the original bulbs that came in this vehicle, the bulb and this base were one unit. So when you go to replace your bulbs with LED bulbs, you have to make sure that you get the bulbs and the sockets. The problem is that you can't really find the sockets that have the proper clocking where these metal tabs are. If we can get some focus here. and on the side where this plastic tab is, right there. Because if you get the aftermarkets, they go into place properly, they twist and lock properly, but if you can just barely make out, that metal tab that's sticking right there on the aftermarket units, it pushes it up here. Thus, no contact made and no bulb function. So, what I ended up doing was I went to the salvage yard, found a late 90s to early 2000s up until 03 GM vehicle. Any of these will fit. They're the proper orientation. They fit the 194 bulb. The contacts are in the right place. The locking tabs are in the right place. Perfect fit. If you go with the aftermarket sockets, you will run into this problem. And this is for any older GM vehicle from, let's say, about 87 to 96. Pretty much during that OBD1 era, where the whole bulb was one assembly. And on this one, since it's already the newer style, it doesn't say it, but on the old style, it'll say replace entire assembly right on the bigger part of the base of the bulb. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these out, so that way we can do the swap out of the bulbs and start slamming her back together. Here's the bulb I'm going to be replacing this with. And this is from superbrightleds.com. It's a WLED-G like green HP5. And these bulbs in particular, there's one key when it comes to installing them. They will easily fit in that plastic base. They just push right in. You don't have to jam it or slam it in there. It works just fine. However, these are polarity sensitive. So, if you put them in, light everything up, or turn your headlights on, and you get nothing from a particular bulb, it may not necessarily be that it's dead. It may not necessarily be that it doesn't work with your car. You just need to take it out, flip it around 180 degrees, put it back, and chances are it'll work. So now I've got to put this new assembly in here, like that. In and twist, locks in securely, not going anywhere. The only big bulb that you're not going to take out of this cluster to replace with a different colored bulb is going to be this one, because this one is actually for your seatbelt light. So you could put an LED in it, and I actually did. I put a white one in, so it definitely pops a little more, telling you to put your seatbelt on. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these in and begin to make sure I got all the polarities right, and this job will be almost done. All the bulbs are in. Let's do a little test, see which ones light up. So I've got some that did not come on, so that means I've got to go in, reverse the polarities, and we should be in business. I can tell that bulb's working. I can tell that one's working. This one obviously isn't working. can see that it's going, obviously. And I'm going to check one more right by that gauge just to be sure. Now it's working. That one's working. That one's working. That one's working. I already know these two are working. So now there we go. Full green instrument cluster. You can put almost any color bulbs in this you want. I will say this, I do not recommend putting ultraviolet lights in because the color is a little bit too dark and then you can't really see your gauges that well. Unless you have white face gauges, which they actually do make for this vehicle, but I'm not going to do that with this one. The next part is this. There's one more 194 bulb right behind this, or actually it's right behind the defrost indicator here. You can actually see where it's sitting right there. 3 bolts hold this in. I'm going to pop those out and switch out the last bulb. This will be complete. When you're pulling this out, once again, be gentle. There's vacuum lines connected back there. You rip one of those or put a tear in it, you're going to lose some functionality of this, and you're going to be either hot or cold because of it. But what we need is not further back, it's right here. Just twist, bulb comes out, there it is. Out with the old. In with the new. Just push in. Only one way for it to fit. Just do a simple test. Make sure it's in the right way. We're good to go there. Installation, the same as disassembly. Push. Twist. Just that simple. And now, with that replaced, it's kind of light outside, so it's hard to tell, but it really does look good in the dark. All the colors stay exactly how they should, and you still have that cool green that no one else has. So, from there, put your bolts back in, put those bolts back in, put the dash cover back on, and this job is done. Well, there you have it, all back together, except for one thing. Now it's all back together. And the final test, I made that one blue, but when I did it, I didn't have a green bulb to put in it, so I figured a little color contrast wouldn't hurt. But fully illuminated, illuminated there, illuminated there. So I'm calling it done. It lasts longer, saves energy, different colors to choose from to fit your liking. If you have any questions about it, leave a comment. Subscribe if you so wish. Thanks for watching. Take care out there.